Moana of Motunui is an iconic Disney princess that is a symbol of female empowerment and independence. But with the pressure of the village to be something more, to create an heir, Moana sails off to flee just for a while. Moana 2 sailing soon? Here's a first look. Several exciting movies have already been confirmed to be released in 2023, but the upcoming Moana 2 has gotta be my favorite. Moana 2 is set to release on June 21st, 2023. After 7 years since the first movie back in 2016, avid Disney fans are so excited to see Moana and Maui go on another risky adventure once more. But the movie was previously set to release in around 2020, but because of COVID restrictions, like in other movies once again, the movie's production was incredibly delayed. But fast forward to this year, Moana is extremely stressed with her life after becoming chief, especially after her father's legacy. So she went running off to another island, and just who becomes her partner in crime once again? You guessed it, Maui. The first Moana film ended with Moana and Maui arriving on their welcoming and missed home island. Therefore, I would guess it will start there. Her overwhelming duties, helicopter parents, and most of all, her life as a chief will suppress the strong-willed freedom we know and love. Unsurprisingly, Moana doesn't want that for herself, so she flees, where she ends up in a lost, mysterious world that's been left untouched for thousands of years. Her unofficial demigod bodyguard comes to her rescue to make sure she's safe. Not much about the Moana 2 has been released to the public just yet, but enough to keep us on our toes. The first Moana was a huge hit with every age, and if the second movie goes great for Disney, an animation film of Moana will be in the making as she takes us to her chief duties and incredible sea adventures with Maui. Auli'i Cravalho will make her return as Moana of Motunui, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the shape-shifting demigod Maui. And, of course, the legendary partner in crime of Moana, Alan Tudyk, as Heihei. But before her great departure, she leads her village to once again go back to their roots and sail on the big, great, and open sea. When they arrive on their new island with plentiful resources and sea creatures, Moana will probably smash that like button down below. But seriously, she'll teach her people how to sail on bigger boats. This is because she will most probably aim to nurture her village by foraging and having other villagers travel to bigger islands. With the guidance of Te Fiti herself, her grandmother, and Maui, their village is blooming now more than ever. Get ready for another hit song by Auli'i Cravalho as she voices Moana once again. A fan theory that led to Moana's fleeing was that her village suspected she didn't want a family of her own. The huge elephant in the room was her position as chief. Who would inherit the title that Moana's family has always had since centuries ago? As suspected, the finest families of the village will offer their sons blind dates in hopes that Moana will choose to settle down, have children, and produce an heir. Now, that's certainly an interesting plotline for one of Disney's most independent female characters to date, pun intended. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is expected to want the movie, considering his daughter is a huge fan of the first film. He made around $21 million on the first movie alone, after all. But other than that, The Rock actually admitted to crying, quote, manly tears throughout the movie, despite already knowing what's going to happen. As a father, he got teary-eyed by the example Moana teaches his daughter, hence them watching it 700 times. He tells ABC News, quote, "There's no love interest, and there's no damsel in distress character in here, and that he loves this version of a female hero. It definitely defies the Disney blueprint of a princess, but all for the better." What most don't know is that The Rock actually has a sentimental background to the making of Moana, because it was actually inspired by his loving grandfather, whom he was always close with. Both he and his grandfather were no strangers to sports entertainment, specifically WWE. His grandfather was High Chief Peter Maivia, and The Rock was Rocky Maivia to respect lineage. The Rock's family is Polynesian, and another fact that you may not know is that Moana is a Polynesian myth too, and Maui's look was inspired by High Chief Peter Maivia. I have to say, it looks uncanny, and no one other than The Rock could have played it off that great. Although, I guess his daughter doesn't think so.
Is Daddy Maui?
No.
Are you kidding?
Since a lot of fans have been excited about the coming films of the Moana franchise, a lot of fan theories are definitely getting out of hand. Ever since word came out that Moana 2 is real and is about to be filmed, people took it to social media to share their thoughts. The more interesting one I heard that left me crying out of laughter was that Moana and Maui actually fell in love during their adventure in the first movie, and that Moana was giving birth to a second-generation demigod heir. What are your thoughts on this one? I suppose it could definitely be possible, except for the part that Maui is hundreds of years older than Moana, who is a full-blooded mortal. And come on, guys, can't we just have one platonic male-female relationship in a Disney movie? Lin-Manuel Miranda's dad, Louis, told Page Six that, quote, Miranda is talking to Disney about a sequel to Moana, but the movie would be about a Latina princess. However, many already assumed it to be the movie Encanto, which was released months after this interview happened. To those who've seen Encanto, Mirabel obviously isn't a Latina princess, so maybe it wasn't what Lin-Manuel meant. Could Moana 2 have yet another added character? If this was the hidden hint we needed, the Latina princess could be the ruler on the lost island Moana ends up fleeing to. Another civilization she and her tribe never expected to be around, with a huge threat risking the exposure of this hidden civilization. Whether our hunch about the Moana 2 movie is true or not, we're definitely in for a whole new adventure to save the world. The first film was directed by award-winning David G. Derrick Jr., and he is confirmed to come back to the Disney franchise to direct the Moana animated series that was originally scheduled to be released in 2023, but was pushed back to 2024. Director Derrick said in an interview that directing the first film of the franchise actually deepened his and his family's Samoan roots, hence why he's open to directing the animated series. Word on the very busy rumor mill has it that director Derrick is the very same director that'll handle the up-and-coming Moana 2. Since Moana has always been a big success, producers and artists alike are open to creating a sequel to the movie. And whether the ending involves Moana as a free, independent single leader, or married to the legendary shape-shifting demigod, Moana will continue to be an inspiration to many children and women throughout the world. However, looking back to the video, The Rock already indirectly denied Maui and Moana's dating rumors when he said the movie has no love interests. Other than she's a teenager being shipped with a demigod, it sounds so Greek to me. Frankly, I think Moana's way better off without a partner, or else the independent princess persona we know and love will be in vain. But let's not forget what Moana symbolizes, which is smashing the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell. Nah, but seriously, Moana is way more than just a chief's daughter that is bound to produce an heir for the sake of her tribe, and she wouldn't be Moana without it. Not only is Moana 2 sounding promising, but so is the incoming animated series. With so many great movies on the to-be-released list so far, make sure to add Moana to your favorites, because when did Disney ever disappoint? See you in the next video!